Good morning. I'd like to welcome to the White River Buddhist Temple. I'm Kyomi Takeda Ozanich, and well, okay, this is okay. Anyway, we'll do the Jusei on page 23.
Can I have us please put our hands together in Gasho or bow your head in contemplation? As we say Namo Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Namo. Ishimu can I have us all once more please put our hands together in Gasho or bow our head in contemplation as we say once more Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Namo.
Will everybody please rise if you're able? Reading the three treasures on page 3. Fortunate is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Rare is it to encounter the teachings of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not seek the truth of the Dharma in this life, in what life shall we find it? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken within us our highest aspiration. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the Dharma and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord, in a life of harmony, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even though ages of myriad of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful teaching, now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meanings of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Please turn to page 183 for the Gatha When We See the Golden Sun. When we see the golden sun shining from above, we Please be seated. Now we hear a message from Reverend Cindy.
Can I have us once more please put our hands together in Gasho or bow our head in contemplation as I read these words by Shinan Choni. It further states, know that because of doubt, one remains in the house of birth and death. When one doubts the inconceivable karmic power of the great vow, one remains in the 6 courses. We are to realize that up to now, we have been wandering for eons in such a realm of illusion. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Namo. Well, hello, everyone. I hope everyone had a safe 4th of July this past week. I know the weather, in my opinion, was a little heating up, then it cooled down towards the end of the week, but it was, I hope for everybody else too, was a clear night sky so everyone could see the fireworks. So that was great this past week. But today, if you recognize the quote, it's the same quote that I did last week. So this month is our Obon, which is the monthly time in which we remember all of those who have passed, especially all those who have passed within the past year. And so I chose this quote because last week I talked about the being doubtful, and it's okay to doubt. But as a Jodo Shinshu Buddhist, we just need that one singular moment to entrust fully in Amida Buddha. And with that one time of entrusting, one is able to be born in Amida Buddha's Pure Land and attain enlightenment. What I wanted to talk about today was, in a way, a continuation of that, in a way I say, because what I wanted to talk about was what I chose in the quote, which is the 6 courses. So I wanted to talk about this because this is part of kind of the background for the story of Moggallana, the story that hopefully, if you read our newsletter, I sort of paraphrased, really paraphrased in my article. And the thing about the 6 courses, right, is that it is also called the 6 realms, in which we have been transmigrating for many eons, for what we call our cycle of birth and death into these various realms. And I sort of wanted to talk about this, not to put a damper on things, but to explain that in Mahayana Buddhism, which is the umbrella that Jodo Shinshu, our sect of Buddhism, falls under, we do believe that there are 6 realms in which we transmigrate through once we pass. And it is when we end this cycle of birth and death, that is when we have that singular moment of entrusting in Amida Buddha, the Buddha of immeasurable light and infinite light, infinite wisdom and compassion, that we break the cycle of birth and death, and thus escape to the Pure Land, Amida Buddha's Pure Land, where we ourselves become enlightened. Because the only way to break this cycle of birth and death is to become enlightened. And in the story of Moggallana, a disciple of Shakyamuni Buddha, finds his mother, who had recently passed, to be in one of these other realms. Thus, she did not become enlightened. Thus, she is not free from her suffering. And thus, I just wanted to talk a little bit about a very brief summary. If anyone wants me to, I could go into depth about any of these realms. But a brief overview of the 6 courses and why it is important that we break this cycle of birth and death, so that we stop transmigrating, being born into these different realms. So going from the very bottom to the very top, the first realm is, I don't know if I could say this online, so I'm saying this the PG way, is HE double hockey 6 realm. And of course, we can all understand why we don't want to be born in this realm. Right? The second up from that is the Gakki realm, the realm of hungry ghosts, which is the realm that Moggallana finds his mother. This tends to be the realm in which people, well, beings, I should say, who developed or had this intense greed within their life. This is where they are born once they pass from their previous life. That is because that in this realm, right, you can't ingest anything. Some scripts say that when the food touches your mouth, it immediately turns to ash, meaning you can't eat. Others say that the throat of the beings in this realm are too small, so you can't actually ingest anything. Thus, this realm is a realm of suffering. The realm above that is the animal realm. And this realm is for those who had a life of full of just basic instinct and ignorance. I don't think I need to go on in regards to the animal realm. The fourth realm is the Ashura realm. The Ashura realm is the realm of fighting demons. This is a place where one is constantly fighting. So people with a lot of anger are born into this realm. The fifth realm is the human realm. Right? I will go a little bit further into the human realm later on. But the sixth realm, right? The sixth realm is the realm of heavenly beings. This is where one enjoys their life. And I wanted to lay out these six because, according to Mahayana Buddhism, right, you don't want to be born in the lower four realms, right? You can understand why it is suffering in a way, right? This is suffering in the negative sense. But it is also said, especially in Jodo Shinshu doctrine, you don't want to be born in the heavenly realm, right? You think you want to be born in the heavenly realm, but it can be interpreted as suffering in the positive. You are constantly happy, right? I was going to say, I don't see the single person who pointed this out, but if you want to watch, oh no, I'm blinking. The Good Place. Yeah. The Good Place. If you ever watch The Good Place, you can understand, right? Just positive happiness. And I don't want to talk about it too much because this is like at the very end of the series, and so it's like a spoiler. But, right, constant happiness. And so, according to Jodo Shinshu doctrine, we want to be born in the human realm. And that is because we get both the negative suffering and the positive suffering. Right? We understand that those exist. And I like to phrase this because actually this week I did some gambling. So I like to say that the human realm is like when you go gamble, right? When you go to the casino, right? When you win, right? You get that really nice high, that happiness, that I won. Yeah. But then when you lose, right? You get that low and you go, oh no, my money. That's why it's important to be born in the human realm. Right? Because one has both of those highs and lows. It is important that we interact with both sides of the suffering because we realize that, as we say in Buddhism, the goal of a Buddhist is to end our sufferings, right? To extinguish our sufferings. And in Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, for us Jodo Shinshu Buddhists, it's understood that we ourselves cannot get over these sufferings. As you can see, since I went to a casino this week, I still enjoy my sufferings. I enjoy that high when I win and that low when I lose, right? Because then you keep on playing and you're like, oh man, I need that high again. And then I'm down $100. And maybe more. So, that's why in Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, we look towards Amida Buddha, the Buddha who understands that we're going through this suffering and who understands that we ourselves cannot get rid of this suffering in our current lives. That is why we say, Nam Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha, because Amida Buddha is the Buddha of infinite wisdom and compassion, infinite light and life, and thus accepts us as we are and allows us to be born in Amida Buddha's Pure Land. And it helps us attain our enlightenment there, where we cease our very own suffering, where we no longer have those highs and lows. We become a Buddha. And we come back and help everyone else in this world. And that is the reason why in Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, we, under the umbrella of Mahayana Buddhism, realize these 6 courses and realize the reason why it is important for us to be born into the human realm. I know that there's a few animal lovers out there, and I will save a part of this talk for when we eventually do have our pet memorial service, because it is important to know that though it is important to be born in the human realm, especially, right? We love our animals. And I love my cat, and will never say that they're stuck in this film. I have to help them. And I will go into that during our pet memorial, which I'm sorry to say will probably be sometime next year. So come back next year. Sorry, I have to wait a little bit more than half a year for that. But coming back, again, 6 courses. 6 courses. And Amida Buddha's infinite wisdom and compassion is the reason why we say Nam Amida Butsu, to end our suffering and to help everyone else here in this world to realize that they too can end their suffering by taking refuge in Amida Buddha. So in conclusion, I would like us to put our hands together in Gasho, or bow your head in contemplation, as we say in gratitude to Amida Buddha, Nam Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Nam Amida Butsu, 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 Nam Amida Butsu.
Thank you, Reverend Cindy. We're going to all go up to Muckleshoot now to get that high. I'm just kidding. Oh, where am I? Okay. Let's see. Now we'll sing, for those who are able, please stand for Gatha Ondoku-san on page 153. Please remain standing for the daily creed of Jodo Shinshu on page 3. Page 8? Oh. 8. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Okay. Realizing enlightenment is assured and reciting the Nembutsu, I shall live my life cheerfully and positively, understanding the oneness of life and cultivating self-reflection. I shall diligently attend to my life's tasks in gratitude. Recognizing the Dharma path, I shall help spread the teachings of the Buddha. Appreciating the Buddha Dharma, I shall respect and help others, working for the good of society. Namo Dabatsu. Namo Dabatsu. Namo Dabatsu. Please be seated. Shar, will you please let us know what the guests are today? Oh. Welcome. Okay. And is there, let's see. Okay. And are there any announcements?
Good morning. We have our Obona's coming up in 2 weeks, and so we need all hands on deck. We still have spots. We need help with dishwashing. We need lots of help there. And we need help in the Obon dog booth, and I think there's one other that we need some help. So on the back there's a sign-up sheet. If either you can go online and sign up, or you can just sign up there on the sheet in the back. So anybody that can help, we would really appreciate it. And thanks to everybody who helped yesterday with the mochi and manju making. We had lots of people here, and we got done in record time. We were done by cooking by 11:15. So thank you, everyone.
Hi everyone, 2 announcements. First, board members, we have a meeting after service, so we'll meet in the back maybe around 11:15 or 20 or so, once we can get set up. And secondly, so we have the registration for Tacoma Buddhist Temple's convention that is being held in September of this year. The theme is From Chaos to Compassion, and it's September 15th to the 17th. It's going to be at the Doubletree down in Tukwila at South Center, which I think many of us are familiar with. And Reverend Dean Koyama, he's going to be the guest speaker. So I've made a Google form for you to pay, to register, and then we'll process payment. So please let me know if you have any questions. I'll be kind of in the back hanging around if you have any questions for convention, but definitely encourage you all to go. It's the first one after the pandemic that's like fully in person. They won't have any hybrid option this time, is my understanding. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and hope you can all make it. Thank you.
Hello again. I just want to highlight again, though again, as I said last week, Oyobon is the best, so come to Oyobon. But just a reminder that Obon season is starting up this coming weekend. And so starting July 15th and 16th, Seattle Buddhist Church will have their Obon from 2 to 8 p.m. From 2 to 8 p.m., both Saturday and Sunday, July 15th and 16th. Continuing on with the Obons, there is the Tacoma Buddhist Temple Obon from 4 to 8 p.m. on July 29th. That is a Saturday only. And then if you want to go down to Portland, their Obon will be August 5th. That is a Saturday from 2 to 9 p.m. And also because Kusunoki Sensei keeps reminding me, please put down your calendars the softball tournament on August 12th. I will ask him this coming weekend, if they have figured out where it will be. But I believe the softball tournament's at 10 a.m. I will double check again with them. But again, you do not have to know how to hit or run in the softball. If you want to come and just enjoy the camaraderie with everybody, then you're welcome to. Again, the first game is just a really relaxed game. They don't take points or any runs or anything. And so you could just hit the ball, you could run or walk, and you'll be able to go around the bases. Again, the second game is the competitive one. So if you want to stay for that, it gets very competitive. Because, again, if you don't know Kusunoki Sensei, he loves baseball and he used to play baseball. And so he gets very, very competitive. But please, if you would like to, August 12th for the softball tournament. Okay, and then I will have my last announcement in Japanese real quick. 今週の金曜日7月14日は2回目の日本語法要でございます。法要は午前11時からです。午前11から1時からです。その日は蓮養初任のご命日ですから、多分ちょっとだけ蓮養初任を話します。はい、だから、はい、それだけです。Thank you very much.
Okay. Please read with me on the bottom of your page. Do they have one? Okay. I didn't get one. You didn't get one. Okay. I guess I have it. Okay. My life is not. Yeah. Wait. My life is not only my life, but the life of others. Sacrifices, kindness, thoughtfulness, and patience. I am grateful. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. And please come up to Oshoko if you haven't after the service. And thank you all for attending and putting up with me. You were suffering with me, I can tell. It's a little different than karaoke. Yeah. So thank you for coming and drive safely home. Now I'm relaxed.